question for you. How much should a game cost? $60? $70? Maybe even lower? All of those were wrong. A game should cost $130! Sorry. I got a bit mad right there. But you might be asking me, why am I talking about this game? A bunch of other YouTubers are talking about this game also, but they actually played the game. Well, guess what? I played the game too. And I do have to say, thank you so much Ubisoft for hooking me up with this. Doing a remote preview was the coolest thing ever. I got to play this game for 4 hours. We went on 2 different planets, and it was just amazing, but I still have to be honest with your game. Ubisoft. I have to be nice. Actually, no, I'm going to be. All jokes aside though, thank you Ubisoft for allowing me to play this game a month in advance. It was very awesome. I loved it, but I do have a few negatives, and today we're also going to be answering 2 questions. Is this game worth the $130 or the other stages like the $70 or the $110? And is this game any competition with EA's Jedi series? But before we answer those questions, I do have to give you a bit of a story, or I guess synopsis about what this is about. You play as a character named Kay, which is basically Twitter's definition of an ugly woman. And well, Kay has been avoiding her taxes for the past few years, meaning she's in a lot of debt and the IRS is coming after her. So she has to create a team to pull off the biggest heist the galaxy has ever seen, paying off all her debt and being able to run away with the idea that she has enough money. Basically what they were trying to do with Rey in the first act of The Force Awakens.
Tell me about the droid.
Now, I won't lie to you, I actually do like this premise, but we have to get into something else, and that is the actual gameplay. Now, I won't lie, Ubisoft was given the short stick because EA was already producing Jedi Fallen Order, and Jedi Fallen Order, well, the main character uses a lightsaber. What this means for Ubisoft is, well, if they also made a game where the main character uses a lightsaber, it would just be Jedi Fallen Order, just made by Ubisoft. So to make it unique from Fallen Order, there are no lightsabers, and the story reason behind this is that this takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, meaning the Siths were kind of conquering everything, so Jedis weren't really out and about with their lightsabers sticking out. This also means that Kay uses guns. Actually, no, just a gun. She uses one gun throughout the entire story, and I kind of get it. They kind of want to go the Jedi Survivor route, where you can customize this gun, and it can have so much cool abilities, but it just doesn't work. The gun is pretty weak, and every time I kill a stormtrooper, I make sure to pick up the stormtrooper's gun and use that, because it just feels so much better. And speaking of combat, it's honestly not that advocated in this game. Instead, they want you to pursue the stealth option. There are some missions in this game where you can only be stealthy. You have to find your way into some places, and well, if you get caught by some guards, either you're dead or it shows up with the word saying you're caught and you have to restart all the way from the back. And well, I think that is one of the bigger reasons why this game will not be too good to the younger audience. People under the age of 10 are going to be there for some Star Wars action and are going to get pissed when they have to restart when they just keep on getting caught. They can't go guns blazing, and they have to actually be quiet and stealthy. And honestly, I didn't have too much of a problem with it at the beginning. I thought it was pretty unique from Jedi Survivor, but the problem is that's almost every single mission. If a door doesn't open, you then have to go looking around at the location, trying to find an air vent or some place you can sneak through and find a secret opening. It feels like a bit of a repetitive process where you're going to try to open this gate, you realize the gate doesn't open, so you try to go find a secret passage. Once you do, you then scramble around the base until you then get to some part with some guards. You sneak around more. Then when you get to the final part, you have to disable something. You then steal it. The alarm goes off. You fight a bunch of guys. You run away and you get out. It's a pretty simple and basic and honestly repetitive formula that happened like 3 times in this demo. And while to make these heists unique, they add puzzles, which I won't lie, on the first few tries with some of these puzzles, you're gonna get pissed off. But after you get the hang of it, after a few of them, you start to kind of appreciate these puzzles. But another thing that makes these less repetitive is Disney merchandise. I mean, I shouldn't be mean to Nyx here. Their name is Nyx, and it is the cutest little pet ever. I'm gonna buy so many of the plushies when they come out. Nyx is this company's BD1, and I mean, I love BD1, but Nyx is more useful. Nyx can attack enemies, Nyx can fetch items that you tell him to get, Nyx can open doors for you, and Nyx can also help you if there's some small space you can't fit through it. You can tell Nyx to go through it to pull the lever and open the door out from the other side. I think this is one thing that Ubisoft does way better than EA, where the pet actually feels like it's involved in the story other than just trying to rack up some money for them. But other than the combat, the stealth, the pet, there is one thing that this game has that I genuinely think is one of the most unique things this game has. This game is a combination of GTA, but also Red Dead Redemption. Not only do you have his slow-mo Deadeye thing, where basically you go slow, you point at some heads, and once you release the trigger, they shoot all the heads, but they also have a reputation system. It works a bit differently from Red Dead 2, but it is my favorite part of the game. Basically, there are 5 different syndicates / factions, and they're basically mafia crime bosses. Their names are the Crimson Dawn, the Black Sun, the Crymora Syndicate, the Hut Clan, and the Pike Syndicate. All of these mafia crime bosses basically have a scale of reputation. So let's say you try to help one out, you're lowering the other. Having lower reputation not only has some characters from those clans treat you with disrespect, but also you have to sneak into their places, because if they find you, they will kill you on the spot. This actually happened to me because in one of the side missions, I was working with the Jabba the Hutt clan, and I was trying to take something for them until one of the characters that I was working with, I was led to believe they were with the Jabba the Hutt clan. They were actually with the Crimson Dawn. And the problem was I was working with the Crimson Dawn the entire game. I actually had a good reputation with them, but I also wanted to get my Hutt status up. So they gave me the choice of giving the item to them. I get the Crimson Dawn status reputation up even higher, and the Jabba the Hutt status goes even lower, or I can keep the thing, kill them, and get the Jabba the Hutt status up. And well, I picked...
Varric hired me to do a job. I'm gonna finish it. Shame. We're spotted, Nick! Can't trust anyone out here.
So after killing her, my Jabba the Hutt reputation went up, but my Crimson Dawn status went lower. And the reason this matters is because on our second planet, during the one mission I played, they made me sneak through the place instead of letting me by because my status was low because I killed the person. And I won't lie, that's just such a cool idea. I just loved it. It was awesome. But I will have to say also, that level was amazing on the ice planet. I did this heist. I took this item to prove to one of the crime bosses that I was worthy of being chill like that. And you wanna know what the boss said?
You gonna let Ant go now?
The bomb maker. She is essential to our expansion. But the Hive also has great use for a thief like you. Work with us, and we will let Ankh go free.
I was chill like that. So I won't lie, this game has its ups and downs, some bad things, some good things. Honestly, it's kind of a weighted thing. The good thing also about this game is there's a lot to do. And there's a lot of other side stuff to do. There's small details and Easter eggs that you only get for exploring certain towns. You can race people. The side quests are actually like effort put into them. So I won't lie, other than the combat and the speeder bike being a little bit janky, it's pretty good positives. But if you want to buy Star Wars Outlaws, the question is it worth $70 or $130? Now, if we're talking about the base game, the $70, that's a pretty simple one. That is how much games usually cost. Honestly, if you're just a Star Wars fan in general, yeah, I suggest it. Just go into it making sure and knowing that you're not going to be using a lightsaber probably the entire game. Now, if you've always wanted a GTA type Star Wars game, getting it for $110 3 days early, honestly, isn't that bad. You'd be getting it August 27th as the original date is August 30th. And well, that's honestly not a bad deal if you're kind of an above average Star Wars fan. But the main question on if $130 is worth it, well, you get 2 additional like cosmetic bundles and a digital art book for $130. And my answer for you is pretty simple, and you should have honestly already known this. Fuck no.
Talking to my peers to make it clear like who healed y'all. Was taking little baby steps at first, but I still crawl. Pain that's deep inside, that's been something I feel more. I know I should be working, but these days I just chill more. Stuck in solitude in my residence. The truth is clear as evident. Boy, you know you haven't sinned. Don't need no more evidence. You all outside your element, cause you got to